What's up, everybody? Marty Martin here. This is the Geek Nick Podcast. I am your host. All right, so I'm going back to doing a Star Wars video. It's been a long time since I've done anything that had no involvement with Michael Jackson, and because I just want to express something that's been really annoying me a lot. And for those of you that don't know, I am a diehard Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. Uh, Star Wars is everything to me. I love Star Wars so much. It's my childhood and the main reason why, I'm a writer and, pursuing to be a film director. And yeah, so um I am a fan of the Battlefront games. I love Star Wars Battlefront. I like the new ones. I know it's an unpopular opinion amongst the Star Wars fan community and the fandom, but I really enjoy it. I love it. I would much rather play Star Wars Battlefront games than Call of Duty or Battlefield or any other first-person shooter games, first-person slash third-person shooters. I just love Star Wars Battlefront a lot because it's Star Wars. I love full-out war games, multiplayer games. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan. I like some of the Call of Duty games. I'm not too much of a Call of Duty fan. Um, the only Call of Duty games I loved are World at War, Black Ops 1 and 2, and that's it, really. That's it. Everything else I do not like. I'm not too crazy about Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare. It wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing. But when it comes to like online multiplayer gaming, I love Star Wars Battlefront. Like, give me the gameplay style of Call of Duty, but make it to a Star Wars game, and that's what I love. I love Battlefront 2. I'm gonna keep saying that. But but when the first one came out of uh, the reissue, basically the reboot of it, came out December 2015, right before The Force Awakens came out. Everybody was hyped up about it. Everybody was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be awesome! This is gonna be amazing!" And I was one of those people too. So then, when the game came out, first of all, it didn't have a campaign um, mission, but I really didn't care much for a campaign game because we've had nothing but campaign-driven Star Wars games. I wanted to play one that was like all full-out war multiplayer. That's what I was really looking forward to. So, not having a campaign game wasn't a big deal to me. It just wasn't big. I didn't really care for it. I just wanted the experience, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I wasn't like in awe of it. I mean, I was in awe of the graphics and the scenery and everything, but the gameplay of it, I mean, it was underwhelming. It wasn't what I was expecting it to be, but I give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't horrible. I didn't have. It did get boring. I'll tell you that much. It got boring, but it wasn't like oh, this is bad. I'm never gonna play it again. It wasn't like that. It's just that you could play it for a certain amount of time and then just move on. But with Battlefront 2, and also I forgot to mention that Battlefront 1, there were also DLCs and expansion packs and everything, but Battlefront 2 is when they really cracked down on it. Battlefront 2, I love it. I I actually like the campaign story in Star Wars Battlefront 2 better than The Last Jedi. Actually, even better than The Force Awakens. In my opinion. My opinion. That's how I feel. Um, but the gameplay is what I enjoyed the most. The gameplay, it was phenomenal. I mean, we got to play in the Battle of Geonosis. We got to play in Hoth. I mean, we did in the previous ones, but like now it was bigger. They were adding more planets, and then we got General Grievous. We got Count Dooku. I was like, when are we gonna get Count Dooku? I think. Oh, and then we got Anakin Skywalker, and then we got Obi-Wan. Like, wow. And then we got, I think just recently, Jango Fett. But because I don't have PS4 Plus and I don't have the game with me right now, I didn't get to see it. I think I heard it on the news. I think I heard it somewhere in Game Informer. I'm not sure if it did come out or they announced that they were gonna add Jango Fett. I've been kind of out of the loop lately when it comes to Battlefront lately, but I I just enjoyed it. I really had a fun time, but I keep hearing people say the originals were better. The 2004 and 2005 Star Wars Battlefront games are way better than the new ones today. And I was thinking, I was like, because I played Battlefront 2 back in the day in 2005, and I was asking myself, was there really, like, were they really better? Were they? So I decided to go on YouTube and look back on the gameplays and the levels and the missions in Battlefront 1 and 2. And this is what I noticed right here. And so before I play it, this video is dedicated to the people that say they hate the new Battlefront games. Well, let's do a little comparison here. Here's a multiplayer gameplay of Star Wars Battlefront 2 here, and okay, so that's Battlefront 2 2005. Okay? Now let's look at Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017.
Unidentified enemy! That's no droid!
Pre-order now.
Raheem Sterling, please stand by for exercise restart.
You're getting the hang of it.
Those droids are following someone. Can't ID.
Get up on my account.
operation. Enemy crippled the clone army. Fail, and the enemy reinforcements will destroy you.
Coming for you! I am surrounded by idiots! Please!
It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Just better graphics, new weapons, smoother, and but just it's more detailed, of course, and bigger. And I don't understand. Let's look at the Battle of Geonosis from the original Battlefront and compare it to the 2017 Battlefront game.
Have captured a command post. Destroy the Techno-Union ship. Superior ally on the battlefield. North the HTE. We're in luck. Republic advance team is flying in more HTEs. There's only a handful though, so don't waste them.
I don't think I need to say any more or show any more to say and prove that they're the same thing. The difference is in the original games is that they actually had like the creatures in it. Like what I mean by the creatures, like in the Battle of Geonosis, you know, the ones from the movie. They had those creatures in them. I didn't see them. I haven't played Battlefront 2 2017 since May of this year. So because they keep changing things, they keep switching it up, adding more DLCs and expansions. So maybe they have, maybe they haven't. I played Battle of Geonosis like when it came out on Battlefront 2, but since then I have not. And this one was like a while back. But yeah, why all the hate? I don't get it. Well, it has to do with microtransactions. Now, what is that? Well, let's check this out. Okay, microtransactions controversy. This is what I heard that everybody was freaking out about before the game was released. This is what it says right here. During pre-release beta trials, the game's publisher EA was criticized by gamers and the gaming press for introducing a loot box monetization scheme that gave players substantial gameplay advantages through items purchased in-game with real money. Although such items could also be purchased with in-game currency, players would on average have to grind for approximately 40 hours to unlock a special single-player character such as Darth Vader. Responding to the controversy, developers had adjusted the number of in-game items a player receives through playing the game. Okay, so yes, this is stupid. It was dumb. I actually do remember it more now because I came in kind of discouraged playing the game when all this was happening. But it was fixed. They changed it. So let's scroll down here. So it says, on November 12, 2017, a Reddit user complained that although they spent $80 to purchase the deluxe edition of the game, Darth Vader remained inaccessible for play, and the use of this character required a large amount of in-game credits. Players estimated that it would take 40 hours of gameplay to accumulate enough credits to unlock a single hero. In response to the community's backlash, EA's community team defended the controversial changes by saying their intent to make users earn credits to unlock heroes was to give users a sense of pride and accomplishment after unlocking a hero. This led to many Reddit users becoming frustrated at the response, which generated 667,821 downvotes, making it the most downvoted comment in the site's history. In 2019, the comment was inducted in the Guinness World Records. In response to the community's outrage, EA lowered the cost credits to unlock heroes by 75%. However, the credits rewarded for completing the campaign were also reduced. On the day before release, EA disabled microtransactions entirely, citing players' concerns that they gave buyers unfair advantages. They stated their intent to reintroduce them at a later date after unspecified changes had been made. The uproar from social media and poor press reception on its microtransactions had a negative impact on EA's share price, which dropped by 2.5% on the launch day of the game. Analysts in Wall Street also lowered their expectation of the game's financial prospect. A Wall Street analyst writing for CNBC noted how video games are still the cheapest entertainment medium per hour of use, and even with the added microtransactions, playing Battlefront 2 was still notably cheaper than paying to see the theatrical release of a film. By the end of November 2017, EA had lost $3 billion in stock value since the launch of the game. Ouch! Ouch! On March 16, 2018, developer DICE announced an overhaul for the progression and economic system. Loot crates will only contain credits, one of the in-game currencies, and cosmetic items, while crystals, the other in-game currency, can be bought solely for the purpose of purchasing cosmetic items for characters in the game. Progression for player abilities or star cards is now linear, as players must play a certain class or hero in order to unlock a skill point for the trooper or hero, which can then be used to purchase a new card or upgrade one the player already owns. First part of this update was released on March 21st, while the second part was released in April. But they fixed all of this since then. Now we're in 2019. Towards getting close to the end of 2019. Got like 3 months left. But, you know, people, they'll hold a grudge against Battlefront 2 for something that they did in the past. Was it stupid? Yes, it was. But to be honest with you, I'm not, and this is just me. I wasn't really crazy about playing as a Jedi or a Sith in the video game. Not until later on, until they actually started adding them on when you became able to play as them. But I just loved all-out war gameplay. That's just me. I enjoy it. I just like war games. And I'm glad we got it for a Star Wars game. So, I guess, this is my unpopular opinion in the fan community. I feel like more people are disappointed about Battlefront 2. Well, no, not necessarily. No, this is like right at the level of disappointment that the fans had regarding The Last Jedi. So, I don't know. I enjoyed the campaign more than The Last Jedi, even though the story in itself is pretty stale and bland. And here's another thing I wanted to address. Now, Disney has been very obsessed about political correctness, identity politics, and pushing political and social agendas into their movies, like many other movie studios right now. But Disney, they push it. They're really pushing it. When it comes to like feminism, pushing, you know, a character to be powerful just because they are female. I mean, The Last Jedi, the male characters were like in the background. The forefront characters are Rey, Leia, what's her name, played by Laura Dern, the purple hair lady, Rose Tico, and Captain Phasma. But like everybody was anticipating to see a fight between Captain Phasma and Finn. And yeah, those are the ones that got more screen time. And the one male that got more screen time was actually Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren actually got more screen time than Mark Hamill did, than Luke Skywalker got. But you know, in this one, the main protagonist that you play as is a female named Iden Versio, and I didn't feel that they were trying to push any identity politics or any agenda. I think they were just telling a story. It wasn't like in-your-face propaganda or like telling you like it's all about women, and like it's all about women and you know not about men. Men are bad, misogynistic, you know, chauvinist. Now I didn't get it. I didn't get that vibe from it. Unlike The Last Jedi, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I just feel like most of the time, 90% of the time, I'm on the side of Star Wars fans. But this is one of the 10% that I disagree with the Star Wars fan community. To most of them, I enjoy it. I have fun, and a lot of people are still playing it. The people that still play the game are the ones that trash on it. That's another thing. Just like the Call of Duty games. When a person trashes a new Call of Duty game coming out, what do? They buy it or they rent it. Either way, they'll always play it. They'll always play it. Just like iPhones. You know, they'll make a slight change. Like add a new iPhone with a slightly better screen, you know, and much thinner, like just as thin as a paper or something, you know. And people are like, oh my gosh, they're not making iPhone any better. They're just adding these little changes and everything. Yet people still buy them. They still buy them. Hypocrites. Hypocritical. But when it comes to Star Wars movies, okay, Star Wars fans are not. They're not hypocritical. They definitely showed that with Solo, A Star Wars Story. They really showed that it's like, wow. They really hated The Last Jedi, so they really said, nope, we are not going to see Solo. Disney is not going to get our money. So it's like, oh boy. And The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of people forgot about it for a while. And Disney wasn't really marketing Rise of Skywalker as crazy as Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. It's not as much, because Disney has realized that fans are not really... They're not really all excited about it. They're really not. So, yeah, this is just my rant and my thoughts about Battlefront 2. So, yeah, what do you think about the new Battlefront games? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And why? And, yeah, I just want to hear your thoughts about it. Alright, everybody, that's it for this video. Also, I will be going to Disneyland later this month, probably in the next 2 weeks, and when I do go, I'm actually going to do a little live stream. Before the week comes, I'll make another video and put a link or an announcement where you can actually see my reaction of Galaxy's Edge. Because I will be going to Galaxy's Edge and to check it out myself, finally. Because I was super busy during the summer, but also it's going to be less hectic. I heard Disney has kind of been like a ghost town. I mean, for Disneyland standards, but I heard that a lot of people are not going there, so especially me going there on a weekday in September when everybody's going to school, it's going to be less crowded, hopefully. And I'll be going there on a Monday. So, hey, that's gonna be better. So yeah, so I'll do a little video on it, and then after I get back from Disneyland, probably the next day, I'll give my final thoughts on it. So yeah, that's it, everybody. Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you.